and make people feel like they have more control over the issues. Narrative therapy has been shown to help individuals, couples, and families with problems including anxiety, depression, aggression, and anger, grief and loss, and family and relationship conflict. However, there are several criticisms that have been leveled at narrative therapy. First, because it's been around for such a brief period of time in comparison in other forms of therapy. So there isn't great deal of scientific evidence for the efficacy or narrative therapy. In addition, some clients may not be reliable or truthful in their narration of their stories. If the client is only comfortable putting his stories in the positive light with the therapist, he won't get much out of his form of therapy. Moreover, some clients may not want to be positioned as the expert on their lives or to help drive the therapeutic process. People who are less comfortable expressing themselves in words may not do well with this approach. Moreover, the approach will be inappropriate for individuals who have limited cognitive or language skills or who are psychotic. So that is the sources. Narrative therapy does not seek to transform the person in therapy. Instead, it aims to transform the effects of a problem. So, its goal is to make space between a person and their issue. This makes it possible to see how a certain concern is serving a person rather than harming them. So, for example, post-traumatic stress can be defense mechanism. It might help protect someone from the difficult emotion associated with an event. So, but it also brings new symptoms such as anxiety. So, narrative therapy helps people internalize an issues. This process can help people developing greater self-comparison, self-compassion, may self-compassion may help people feel more capable of change. Some psychologists have identified a process learned post-traumatic growth. So this term accounts for the positive change that can occur after going through a traumatic event. So narrative therapists also help people view their problem in different contexts. This context may be social, political, and cultural. So this can influence how we view ourselves and our personal stories. Narrative therapy appears to offer benefits in treatment of a number of different conditions and in variety of settings. Some evidence supporting the effectiveness of this approach. So, one study found that adults with depression and anxiety who were treated with narrative therapy experienced improvements in self-reported quality of life and decreased symptoms of anxiety and depression. One study found that narrative therapy was effective at helping children improve empathy, decisions makings and social skills. So, other research has found that women experience increased levels of martial satisfaction after being treated with narrative therapy. How is narrative therapy different from other therapies? Narrative therapy is different from other therapies in many ways. Firstly, narrative therapies do not assume that current problems are related to a client childhood, parenting or attachments before the age of 5. Instead, clients' relationship with problems are investigated and clients are encouraged to negotiate new relationship with problems, often locating the problem well outside the client's life. This means the narrative therapy is a quicker, so more exciting and more energizing approach to therapy. Narrative therapy is also an extremely optimistic therapy. People are commonly seen in narrative therapy as active agents and sometimes even heroes in their own lives. So, narrative therapies are profoundly interested a person's skills, knowledge, talents, and expertise. So, narrative therapists also have many conversations with clients about their hopes, dreams, plans, and wishes for the future. And what these hopes, dreams, plans, and wishes say about the client now. In this way, narrative therapy conversations can be incredibly exciting. Not only are problems commonly eliminated, but many options for a client to live in a new and powerful ways are created. How and why narrative therapy works. So, people typically enter therapy to address and resolve problems and issues in their lives. Narrative therapy aims to address and restore them through the use of person stories. As in the example of the successful man with his failure story, people often show up with a ready-made story based on life events that back up their story. A dominate story may be dominate itself by the person's unwavering interpretation of the story, placing the situation in the stark black or white with no room for additional interpretations of the events or overall plot. Narrative therapy works to explore alternative stories that can replace existing problematic narratives and offer people a new way other to live their lives. Narrative therapists will prompt conversations that bring up other events or through the dispel the overreading problematic narrative by reducing its power and serving up a new realm and thinking, acting, and living. For instance, a narrative therapist may encourage the man with the failure story to engage in discussion of events and situations in which he was regarded as successful. Example, certainly include the building of his own business, so his loving family, and even the way he quickly and easily trained his dog, rather than focusing in losing a spelling bee and third grade and a girlfriend in his senior year of high school. So the therapist may tease out stories of winning and writing content in fourth grade of warning and hurt of his college sweetheart who, who is now who is now his wife. So narrative therapy serves a dual purpose with a singular overall goal. It aims to help people break free of other life stories that are creating problems and reauthor new positive stories. Both moves can lead to overall goal of ushering in a whole new realm of possible and way of living into their lives. That is the ending of my report. Once again, good day, sir, and thank you.